It's pretty clear that I don't like Boruto, but it doesn't stop there. In general, I don't really like sequel series at all, mostly because of the high chance of it retconning and ruining what the original did well. But that doesn't mean that sequel series are impossible to make. Here are 3 Naruto sequels that I came up with that I think would work. The first is called Naruto Legends. The story takes place in the past and starts with Hashirama. It goes into great detail into life as a soldier and the battles he fought in and the jobs he was hired for. He obviously meets Madara, and all the parts of the original story happen, except in detail with several arcs. Then there will be at least one arc focusing on Tobirama as Hokage. It could go into his beef with the Uchiha clan. Eventually, he will be the protagonist of a First World War arc. The next protagonist will be Hiruzen and Jiraiya. They will have at least one arc based on the Second World War. Then Minato and Kakashi will eventually be protagonists, ending with the Third World War arc. All the arcs will go into detail on the plot, characters, and setting. Other villages that are relevant to the current plot will be delved into. Nothing from Naruto will be retconned, and the story will have the same tone and energy as Naruto, except maybe a little darker. The second is called Naruto Ninden. The story takes place in the present. If you've seen a certain magical index, you know there's a character named Misaka who's only really important in one of the arcs of the first season. Then she is basically sidelined, but she has a side story called A Certain Scientific Railgun that focuses on her adventures and are mostly separate from the main story. Ninden will be like that, but with multiple POVs. Their arcs will switch between Team Asuma, Team Kurenai, and Team Guy. It will show their individual missions and develop them further. The Chunin exams will be an arc, but it will focus on the different perspectives that we didn't really see. We'll see how the others found the right room, what they did during the Forest of Death, and what they did when Suna attacked. The Sasuke recovery arc will be skipped because all of the relevant perspectives are shown in detail. Sometimes there'll be arcs focused on Jiraiya or Tsunade, but the characters from Team Kakashi will mostly be cameos, like Toma in Railgun. There can also be arcs that show what the Jinchuriki were doing and how the Akatsuki came after them. The third is called Naruto Legacy. This story takes place in the future. Boruto will be between 60 and 80 years old, so that means that around 100 years after chapter 699. The protagonist will either be from one of the other 4 villages or a new village. The story will be named after him, and the subtitle will be Naruto Legacy. For the characters, the main group will be a 3-man cell that has a very different dynamic than Team 7. None of the main characters come from any notable clans from the original. They are either from new clans or not in a major clan. The plot will focus on the characters going on missions. There will be a primary antagonist that is built up over the episodes and is the final antagonist. Characters from Boruto's generation will only become important in the final third of the story. For the setting, the world is much more peaceful thanks to Naruto's generation. But now that all of them have been dead for many years, criminals think they can rise up. The events of Boruto won't be canon. Only the new gen in chapter 700 will be important. In the final third, Boruto can retell stories of Naruto in his 30s, but that generation will mostly be absent from the story. On a side note, none of them died in battle due to the peaceful era. They all had peaceful deaths. Tailed beasts won't play an important role in the story. Things like clan jutsu, kekkei, and dojutsu will exist, but they will be new and original. Some characters might be from new clans that are combinations of 2 clans from the original, but we'll only learn things like that much later in the story. The main characters also don't become overpowered or even close to Team 7's power. Boruto's generation is powerful, but they also don't come close to that ceiling. None of the alien Otsutsuki stuff will be here. As you can see, the story will do its best to separate itself from Naruto and be good on its own, but the themes will still be consistent with the original. These are the 3 sequel ideas I came up with. Stories from the past, present, and future. Which one is your favorite? I prefer Naruto Ninden, the one in the present, because the concept of a story happening at the same time as the original is such an interesting idea to me. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out my manga for free online. If you enjoy my content, please consider donating to my Patreon. All important links will be in the description.